Hi, so we're going to interview Vicky, who has had such a tremendous journey with her trying to get healthy and actually getting healthy. She has her own story to tell, and I think it'll be really cool if we listen to it. So, welcome to this episode of Lost and Found, where you get inspiration and motivation to actually see what happens on the other side once you've gone through this journey.
My name is Dr. Victoria Ndyanabangi. I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I'm here to share my weight loss journey and what has worked and what I realized didn't work. So for a start, I'd like to explain the kind of background, where do I come from. I started my weight loss journey when I had hit a tune of 120 kilos, and it took me about 2 to 3 years to actually shed. So I shed about 45 kilos over a space of about 2 to 3 years, and believe me, the journey was not easy. Getting to 120 kilos, this is something that happened over years, right from childhood. I started to gain weight when I was about 9 to 10 years because of the kind of lifestyle that I was exposed to, which was a lifestyle where it was comfort food, comfort eating, partying, and most of the parties then that we had as children had a lot of junk food, and so we enjoyed ourselves. I came from a home where my mom loved to cook and experimented with different menus, and yes, it was the kind of luxury lifestyle where you ate and there wasn't so much restriction on what you ate. So over the years, I piled on kilos, and then got to secondary school, piled on more kilos, enjoyed my food, and as you know, the Ugandan lifestyle, once you're in school, there's a lot of sedentary lifestyle. It's about books, and more books. So there was literally hardly any time to actually engage in any physical activity, but also there was no knowledge on what the right diet was. So whatever was available is what we ate. And then junk food and fast food had just come to Uganda, and every weekend it was binging on junk food, which of course we all enjoyed. Little did I know that it would translate into obesity, which is something that I had to battle with through adolescence, through high school, and eventually through adulthood. So this weight didn't come overnight, it came over a period of years, and I didn't know, then I wasn't bothered about it, and it was okay as long as I was able to get around and do whatever I needed to do. Life was okay. Till I got to about senior 6, when I realized, okay, this weight is getting a little too much. Actually, in my senior 6 vacation, this is when I decided, okay, I need to do something. And my mom had started to talk about it and said, you know what, you actually need to do something about your weight. And since you're on holiday, you're on vacation, you have a lot of time on your hands, you're not working, you could actually do some exercise, you could actually go to places and seek out knowledge on right diet. So she started guiding me along the path, because this is a journey that she had also chosen to take. So in my S6 vacation, I started to read up on different diets, what works, what has been tested out there. I also started to exercise. I swam more, I walked more. I joined an exercise wellness center called Sleek and Slender, where I would do turning tables, so that as I lost weight, I would turn in. And this was for a period of about 3 to 6 months, and I was actually able to shed from about 95 kilos then to 84 kilos, and went off to campus excited that I had developed this new lifestyle, which I hoped I would maintain. Looked out for a gym. Then campus was in Mbarara University of Science and Technology. Went and looked out for a gym that I'd go to, and for the first 2 or so months, yes, I managed to go to the gym maybe 3 times a week because I had paid membership. After the first 2 months or so, I lost everything. I stopped going to the gym. I'd eat whatever I'd find on campus, and would eat junk food because most times you leave and you're lazy to cook, you have so much to read, so there was excuse after excuse. So that's when the excuses started, and the eating was actually a lot more than I used to. So it was eat, sleep, read, eat, sleep, read, and that was my lifestyle. So in about medical school takes about 5 years. So fourth year, then I was about maybe 88, 90 kilos. I conceived my first child, and when I conceived my first child, yes, I put on about 20 kilos then. Pregnancy naturally comes with weight gain, which is expected. So after I put this on, I was still in campus, so there was a lot of stress that I was having to go through. You have a newborn baby, you're in the final year of campus, you really need to excel. There is no excuse for not making it because you have a child. So balancing campus and a home and a newborn baby who is breastfeeding, you have sleepless nights. So basically I ate whatever was available. Then the breast milk supply was so low that I tried to eat much to boost the breast milk supply. I tried to drink all sorts of things, including lots of porridge, which they tell you to take, flasks and flasks of porridge to increase your breast milk supply. And the breast milk actually didn't increase, but there I was drinking to try and, boost. Then I got so much stress because you have night duties, you have calls on the ward, you have sleepless nights, so I ate throughout. And then you have a family to consider. So fast forward, after my first child, I actually literally was not bothered about my weight, stopped monitoring it, went through internship, which was another stressful year, went through it, ate whatever I wanted, drank whatever I wanted, the processed foods, processed juices, slept a lot because I was juggling going between home and work to check on my baby. So it was quite a stressful journey, though I had some help, but still the dynamics are too fast. So after my first child, I didn't bother to shed any weight, got a job, continued to work. Fast forward, I have a second child 4 years down the road, and I add on more weight. This is when actually I started to think about losing weight again. And the main reason was I started to experience challenges like short walks where you get breathless, which is quite unusual. Then I was only 20 something, and a 20 something year old should be able to get by. But I would get so breathless, I'd feel like my heart is going to jump out of my chest. I would sleep terribly, I'd take a while to get sleep. Then when I'd get up, I'd be breathless when I'd get up from bed, and I started to think, there's a problem here. So I do my blood work and realize, okay, my cholesterol is going up. And as a medical professional, I know all these are things related to being overweight. And yes, I had tried to do something before and it had worked, but the challenge was in the maintenance of it. So I realized, yes, I've done this before, but I didn't persist with the habits that I had learned. So I said, you know what, you could actually give it a try. Although there is always that voice at the back of your mind that tells you if you've done it and failed, you're bound to fail again. So why go at it? This is the highest you've been. You have never been at 120 kilos. Can you actually go back? Then I came from a family where a number of my close relatives had also become obese and had failed to lose the weight. So at the back of my mind, I said, you're genetically predisposed. So maybe this is a genetic thing. That's why the weight has come back. That's why it's here. That's why it's not budging. So there was all this negative energy, and but I said, you know what, it doesn't hurt to try. The worst thing that can happen is for you to fail. If you have tried before and it has worked, it can actually happen again. Try it and see. So of course, my esteem was quite low, and when I started, I was working with Baylor College of Medicine where I work. and it was difficult. What do I do? Do I leave work and go and work out in a gym? I was too heavy for gym work. I couldn't skip. So I realized, okay, let me just start by walking and see what happens.
Follow the second part of Dr. Victoria's journey in part 2 of her story on how she lost 45 kilos or 99 pounds. She delves into the actual methods that work for her to not just lose the excess weight, but keep it off. Don't forget to subscribe to Lost and Found for her story, plus more on others' journeys on weight loss, including mine, to motivate you to keep going. Also, share this video with anyone you know struggling on their journey, or someone who just needs reminding that it works. I'm Laura. Catch you soon.